Mérida, rich in historical history that withstands the test of time. Much of its cultural aspect has been localized in what in modern times we call the historical center. However, if we step outside the limits of the historical center, we'll find structures from different time periods, all in different stages of preservation or deterioration. 6 kilometers, or 4 miles north from the busy streets of central Merida, in the San Vicente Chuburná neighborhood, the ex Hacienda Chenkú, which in Mayan language means well of God, is located. Behind its massive gates lie a place full of history and culture. I would like to thank Hacienda Chenkú for granting me access to film inside the hacienda and all its beauty. Hacienda Chenkú is a popular destination in the city of Merida, Yucatan, for professional photographs, weddings, quinceañeras, and other private events. If you are interested, I will leave links below to get a hold of the event planners. The exact date of its construction is hard to pinpoint with 100% certainty. The hacienda was first described in 1710 as a place near an Indian village in the parish of Chuburná, where cattle and beehives were kept. However, records from Mérida's town hall in 1579 states how the town was surrounded by cattle ranches, so its foundation could have been much older. In 1788, it became the property of Captain José Ignacio Rivas Chacón. The ownership history is long and full of notable figures, such as archaeologist Sylvanus G. Morley, who lived here from 1940 to 1948 while doing work in the Yucatan Peninsula. The main house, or Casa Principal, shows the evolution in architecture as haciendas saw during the Henneken boom, starting in the 1850s, aided by the advances in the Industrial Revolution. Large semicircular arches, held up by stone pillars, and long corridors were added on the front and rear of the main house during this era. The inside of the house is furnished with antique wood furniture and painting. Between 1847 and 1901, the Mayan population fought against the Spanish in a war known as La Guerra de Castas, or the Caste Wars. During this time, the native Mayan population fought for the rights to their land that was being exploited by the Spanish. Haciendas were especially targeted for the conditions the native population was subjected to. Some of the aftermath can be seen today by the heads and arms that were cut from the dolls by the Mayan fighters during the war. Entering a very small door, we are inside a study room. The condition of the antique furniture that adorns it is in magnificent condition for its age, and the wood smell gives it a relaxed feeling. The floor is made from cut stones, and its large windows allow plenty of sunlight and fresh air inside. Let's walk to the front of the Casa Principal. I'll leave you to enjoy the front lawn and its relaxing sounds and beauty. The machine house is one of the other standing buildings in Hacienda Chenkú. During the 1850s until the early 1940s, almost all haciendas had left sugar production for the more profitable henequen production. During this time, the native population was forced to work in the haciendas. They were not slaves since they did have some civil rights, but they were not free. They were bound to work in the hacienda for land. The owners would pay them with special token currency that could only be spent at the hacienda's company store. The population was not meant to live inside the hacienda. They were forced to live outside its walls and could only work inside. The Caste Wars brought a shortage of workforce. Servants were brought from China, Korea, and the Canary Islands. The henequen production was labeled as green gold. At its height, there were nearly 1,200 haciendas within an 80-kilometer or 50-mile radius from the city of Mérida. The newly acquired wealth paid for the city's streets and public buildings, increasing the population within the city. When the Mexican Revolution arrived in the Yucatan Peninsula, it greatly impacted the henequen production, with many hacienda owners choosing to abandon production and many others defaulting from overinvesting during the boom. The Great Depression further declined exports, and in the 1940s, with the invention of nylon, the industry ceased to exist. This was a very short summary of the henequen production in the Yucatan Peninsula. I have left out so much information. I will be making another video explaining it in further detail. I'll be posting a short second video of the abandoned sections of Hacienda Chenkú. Until next time, thank you for watching, And if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe.